late with the defensive line getting pressure
Oh,
on
I
that?
thought it was critical because, again, it allowed Eric to do what he felt like he needed to do in terms of whether rush 5 or rush 4 or rush 3. When you can get pressure doing those different combinations, you can have success. And I thought the D-line stepped up in a big way and did some good things for us.
Ron, not only the D-line, but in terms of your safeties, a guy like Mike Adams, who's combined with Pepper's 32 seasons between the two of them, what about Adams makes him so essential?
Well, Mike made a couple of real big plays for us, a couple open field tackles that were really big. You know, Zeke caught a couple check downs, and Mike was out there by himself and just made great plays. Mike also did a great job controlling the young corners we have, working with them. Again, you got a veteran guy out there, it means an awful lot.
Ron, do you have any early?
No updates on anybody that was hurt in the game, other than the fact that there's a little bit of concern for all of them. We'll see how they are. Greg left early, obviously. Darryl left later in the game, and then Luke left, but he came back in, and we'll go from there. That's all I know.
Any more concern you might normally have? Because it looked like it was potentially re-injuries
No,
of Greg and
that's
Darryl.
the one thing I do know about Darryl. It's not the re-injury. I'll tell you that much. That's the only thing I do know.
How about Greg?
I couldn't tell you on that, other than it's the foot, and it is the same one.
What was it in particular that you saw from the D-line that you liked?
Well, I thought they did a nice job. And again, it goes hand in hand because a couple of those you could look at as were either coverage pressures or coverage sacks as well. I thought our combination did well. I thought Eric mixed up his play calls very nicely. You know, I thought the rush patterns that we had, I thought, what Brady and Sammy did with those guys was good all week. I thought the linebackers underneath coverage was solid. You know, we got the ball thrown in front of us. We drove downhill, made tackles. And I thought the DBs played well. I mean, I was really pleased with the defense as a whole. I thought their effort was good.
Cam Newton really got a lot of things going early on with his legs, and I saw he wore a pair of cleats with sheriff's badges on him today. Was that
Yes, he did. You missed the Spurs, too. The thing about him is he knows how to make plays when we need him. He's done a great job for us. You know, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. We had a couple big plays, but then we had some sort of penalty called against us. And, you know, we can't make mistakes and expect to beat really good teams. You know, and this is a good football team we played today. They gave us everything we wanted. They had a chance at the end. And, you know, you want to take that away from teams. You don't want to give them a chance. But, again, hats off to how hard they played.
Then the plays he did make with his legs, what did you see from Cam in the passing game?
Oh, I thought some of his decisions were outstanding. I really did. I mean, this, you know, the time of possession was interesting on up until we got into the fourth quarter. And I think that's where the skew is. You know, we drove down in the first drive, and unfortunately we turned it over and got no points. Then the last drive of the first half, we had an opportunity for a touchdown, ended up with a field goal because we had a couple penalties that drove us back a little bit. And then the opening drive in the third quarter, we drive it down, get across the 50, and then we go backwards on a couple of plays. Again, we can't do that and expect to win consistently. We've got to take care of those mistakes we made.
It looked like Darryl got hit a little low and maybe a little late. Did you get much of a look at that?
No, other than they just told me they felt he got rolled up on the back of the leg. So, you know, again, we'll take a look at that. And you know, the one thing they did tell me, they don't think it's anything similar to what he did the first time. So that's good to hear.
Take the hits you guys did today defensively, and like you said, a couple turnovers early. And the injuries, but to come out and win the way you did, what does it speak to this program?
Well, I said it to the guys, you know, it's about the depth we have right now that, you know, if something happens, you got to be the next guy to step up. You got to be ready to play. And when I'm talking, am I just talking to the players? I'm talking to the coaches. We got to make sure we're coaching our players up. We're giving them an opportunity to understand what we need them to do and then put them in position to have success. It all starts with us, and we've got to make sure we're doing our job. I really appreciated the way the guys came in and played and did their best to give us an opportunity. So, again, you know, it does speak well that we do have some depth and some good positions, and we got some things that we got to continue to work on to get better at.
What did you see from Dante Jackson his first outing?
I thought Dante played a solid game. You know, he's very active, plays with his eyes, plays with his hands. You know, I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that were called, but again, you know, those are things we'll look at. We'll work on it. He works very hard at his technique, and you can see it. So again, I'm pretty excited about the way he played, though. And as like I said, the defensive backs as a whole.
Ron, there was a lot of talk this offseason about how many new weapons there were that North was going to have. How did you feel about the way that he called the game as far as distributing touches?
I thought he did a nice job. I mean, again, you know, we hurt ourselves. We made too many mistakes, and again, it starts with us as coaching. We got to get those things shored up. We got to make sure our guys understand. You know, hey, we got to be careful. We don't need penalties. We don't need offsides. You don't need offensive or defensive penalties. We got to play a sound game and it gives us a better chance to win.
Ron, Eric
Was
was.
there a desire to maybe go for one more play with as the half dwindled out? The ball got snapped. I think 7 seconds left.
There was, but you know, when we were in Cam's headset, but once Cam set himself, we all said, okay, hey, let's just go ahead and take it down and kick it. So again, it's one of those things that you wish you hadn't had to use a timeout earlier, but we did.
Did you do anything for the new owner after this being his first game?
Yeah, we did. We gave him the game ball. It's his first win as our owner, and the guys were real appreciative of him, and he just wanted to make sure we congratulated him the right way.
Ron, Eric was right down on the sideline with you the whole game. Did you talk much with him throughout, and how did you feel like he had his feel for the game?
I thought he had a good feel for the game. He mixed up his calls very well, and he would come to me and ask me, hey, because I'm watching, and he'll come over to ask me something, or he'll tell me something, or he'll make a statement on something. So there is communication between him and he and I, but he handled it very well. And again, I liked his aggressive nature at times. I like how he mixed up his calls. I like their communications on the sideline. I think the communication between the guys on the sideline with Eric is outstanding. The guys up in the box did a nice job for us.
Ron, what do you think of Christian's day overall? Obviously had the tough fumble early, but he seemed to bounce back from that.
Yeah, he did.
Was a big part of it.
And again, you're going to have tough days, and you're going to have good days. Good things are going to happen, bad things. But if you can weather those storms and pick it right back up, which he did, he's going to be fine. And again, as we continue to work this, we'll get more and more comfortable with things. And again, I'm just really pleased with the effort we got.
Ron, what was your reaction when you saw Luke go down, and then what was your reaction when you saw him go back in the game?
Well, the best thing is, I knew right away what had happened. The doctors communicated that very well, and Luke just wanted to come to the sideline for a second to catch his breath, which he did. And then once he got settled in, he was fine and ready to go back out there.
Ron, you touched during the offseason about what C.J. Anderson could bring, not only in terms of his ability to run the ball, but as a teacher for guys like Christian. What did you see out of that tandem tonight?
Well, I think you saw a good mix-up. Christian's more of a scat kind of back, trying to pick and choose his holes, where you see CJ's a little bit more of a downhill runner. And again, some really good things we saw. Christian's a threat out of the backfield, and again, we used it that way. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy to come in, and when your starter's been in 15, 16 plays in a row, you throw the next guy in and you give him an opportunity to be out there for 5 or 6 plays, and you switch it again. So I was very pleased with the way that we handled our players today.
How did you think the defense did today containing Elliott, not giving up too many big plays with him?
Well, again, we had our opportunities. We did some good. We really did. And again, we knew we had to contain him. We knew we had to contain the quarterback. And if you let them get outside the pocket, get them outside and allow them to find some creases, they can hurt you. And for the most part, we were able to contain, the situation, keep everything boxed in, force everything back to our linebackers that run.
Ron, how did you feel Taylor Moton played?
Taylor did a nice job. Again, we don't have to take a look at the tape and evaluate it, but first impressions usually are good impressions, and I thought he did a nice job. I mean, there's some things that we have to show up as a football team as a whole, and we'll see.
Alex Arma getting his first NFL touchdown, and then keeping the ball instead of doing the Sunday giveaway. What were your thoughts on all that?
I don't blame him. Good for him too. I mean, he's a young man that's worked very hard, has earned his opportunity. We got a lot of the guys like that are young guys that are working hard and showing us that they belong. And I'm just very happy for Alex because of his effort.
It seems like when Cam has big rush plays in the first half, it kind of gets himself going. He's fired up. He's firing up the crowd. Is that something that you take into account in the game plan to get him going early?
Yes and no. I mean, again, some of it just depends on the circumstances. Norv just felt, just kind of watching him during warm-ups, Norv just felt that, he probably had to get him going early, which he did. And once he got his rhythm, we moved the ball well. Like I said, the unfortunate part is on that first drive, we did everything but score the touchdown, so that was disappointing. But we came back later on and got our touchdown. So, again, I'm just real pleased with the things that we've done. We just got to get some things worked out.
Certainly every division game is big. You go to Atlanta, tied for first with Tampa Bay. Talk about how celebrate this briefly, but on to the next game.
Absolutely, and again, it is. We'll enjoy this. The players earned it. They deserve this opportunity to enjoy it. But it will be on to Atlanta once we get back to work tomorrow after film study. But again, looking forward for the opportunity to play next week against Atlanta. A good football team. We know who they are and they know us. All righty, cool. Thank you, guys.